Hello, we are Group 12. Today we'll talk about the Bible Exodus 1 and paragraph 1 to 10 in chapter 2. Here are our group members, Sarah, Nancy, and Skyler. Next, please. First is our contents, the oppression of the Israelites in Egypt, and birth and adoption of Moses. We make Exodus 1 into 3 parts. Jacob's descendants in Egypt, the oppression, and the command to the midwives. We'll give more details about it. And the next part is Exodus 2, birth and adoption of Moses. So let's move on to the next parts.
Hi, I'm Nancy. Now, let us begin to make a quick view of each part. In Jacob's descendants in Egypt, Israel, son of Jacob, takes his sons Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher to meet up with his youngest son, Joseph, who was already in Egypt. After the generation of Joseph and his brother died, the population begins to rise. Israelites are so numerous that the land is full of them. Next page, please. So, in the second part, we can see that the new rose-up king in Egypt is afraid of the power of Israelites spreading in his country, because they have more people than Egyptians. In this situation, the king asks his people to treat those Israelites coolly, like forcing them to become slaves and making them do all kinds of firework, as much as they can. However, the more the Egyptians oppressed them, the more they multiplied and spread. Next page, please. In order to restrain the Israelites' population, the king commands the Hebrew midwives, whose names were Shiphrah and Puah. He said, "If it's a boy, kill him, but if it's a girl, let her live." However, the midwives didn't obey the king's command because they feared God. Then the king asked the midwives, "Why didn't you do what I told you?" The midwives answered, "Because the Hebrew women give birth quickly." Later, the king commanded his people to throw every Hebrew boy into the Nile, but let every girl live. Now, let's move on to Skylar's part.
Hi, I'm Skylar. Now I'm going to talk about the birth and adoption of Moses. A boy was born to the marriage of a Levite woman and a member of the house of Levi. She kept her baby boy for 3 months because she thought she can hide him very well. However, when she was unable to conceal him any longer, she grabbed a basket, daubed it with a bitumen and pitch, and pulled the child in it, placed it among the reeds on the bank of the Nile. In order to find out what would happen to the baby boy, the boy's sister stayed behind the boy at a safe distance. Luckily, the basket was found by the daughter of the Pharaoh. When she walked along the bank of the Nile, she notices the boy is a Hebrew child, and the sister came out and said, "Shall I go and summon a Hebrew woman to nurse the child for you?" After receiving the permission, the sister went back and called her mother to nurse. When the boy grew up, he became the son of Pharaoh's daughter. She named him Moses, for she said, "I drew him out of the water." And the next part is criticism. For criticism, we think that the way the new king do to the Israelites is ridiculous. If we want the population of a particular race to go down, all we have to do is make the material desire higher and the labor decrease. So the money of spending on the next generation will be much lower, and more people will not want having a baby. And another idea is it is very cruel to kill a child who just come to this world. Everyone has the right to live. Even parents can easily leave their child. How can the king decide this for a newborn baby? This is nonsense for us, as we are living in the modern society. Next part will be the question.
So the last part is the questions. And the first one is, what is your thoughts on the way the Pharaoh was treating Israelites? Next page, please. And in question 2, we want to ask you, from the Pharaoh we saw, do you think it's Moses' luck, President Nice, or because of God's help? Next page. And this is the references for our presentation. Thank you.